G'day everyone, my name is Dave, and I always hear Christians talking endlessly about the glory of God. I mean, we sing about it when we're in church, we quote Bible verses about it, and we even declare it when we see a great sunset or when we look up at the starry night sky. But do we even know what it means? Well, in the next 2 minutes, I'm going to give you the Hebrew word for glory and tell you what it actually means. Well, if this is your first time on my channel, this is the place where I like to do short 2-minute devotions every Tuesday that help you take the next practical steps in your spiritual journey. So why don't you hit the subscribe button right over here so that you never miss an episode. And while you're at it, why don't you give me a thumbs up on this video as well. So what is God's glory anyway? Well, let's put 2 minutes up on the clock and see if I can glorify God by talking about God's glory. Now, whenever Christians see an amazing sunset like this one, we often quote a verse from the book of Psalms that says, "The heavens declare the glory of the Lord." And that's because we usually translate the word glory as beauty or splendor. But did you know that the Hebrew word for glory is actually kavod, which means heavy or weighty? Now, kavod is also the root of a Hebrew word meaning rich, because they would say that a person with a lot of money was weighed down with their wealth. In the same way, we might describe someone who is rich today as being loaded. Making it rain. I only have one. Okay. Better save that. You see, the idea behind kavod is that when we experience God's glory, we're actually experiencing the weight of His goodness, the weight of His beauty, the weight of His mercy. So a spectacular sunset is a great example of the richness of God's beauty, but we also experience His kavod whenever we feel the full weight of His compassion and His peace during a hard time. Pastor Louis Giglio, Pastor Louis Giglio, Pastor Louis Giglio, Pastor Louis, Pastor Louis Giglio, Pastor Louis Giglio says that whenever we're driven by fear or worry, we steal God's glory because we completely miss the full weight of His mercy and His peace and His compassion in our situation. But we don't have to miss it, because Sarah Young, the author of Jesus Calling, says that heaven's glory can reach you in the present no matter how dark your circumstances may appear. Sometimes I think that it's only when we're facing the difficulties in life that we really experience the glory, the full weight, the kavod of God, because that's when we're really aware of how heavy His peace can rest upon us, how heavy His mercy and His compassion are. So we don't just experience the glory of God when we're looking at something that's spectacular or beautiful. We actually experience God's glory when we understand how rich His love for us is every day. Well, that leads us to the question of the day. Do you need to experience God's glory today? If the answer is yes, why don't you leave a comment down below so that we can be praying for you? While you're there, why don't you subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so already? Give this video a thumbs up if it was in any way helpful, and I will see you next Tuesday.